When I first got the news that I was going to be given the opportunity to be back on K104 in Dallas and have my own show, the first emotions that hit me was intense anxiety and fear, almost paralyzing anxiety and fear. To go back to a place where I publicly self-destructed and have my battle with alcohol so put in the forefront, it brought up a fear to go back. And this is why I fight so fiercely to protect my circle of friends and who I allow in. Because I do a show on YouTube called Michael Shoud and the Takeover Legends. And this is what my dear friend Dr. Aaron Smith had to say to me about this paralyzing anxiety and fear.
God is like, I told you, I got you. All you got to do is listen and follow me. And you keep trying to be anxious and be worrisome. And you don't even realize that I already planned it out. I put you in a position where I humbled you publicly so that I can exalt you publicly. And I made sure that the same way that you fell, you want to rise. You so busy worried about the pressure and the weight, W-E-I-G-H-T, that you're not worried about the weight, W-A-I-T, because that was the purpose and the point. It was for you to pause, for you to be still, for you to reflect, for you to have time to change and transform through introspection and reflection. You're so busy worried about the pressure that you don't even appreciate the power of the process. So if you just look back over your life and take all those lessons, whether it be handcuffs, depression, or addiction, and you take that and you use it as your testimony and understand it has made you a better man through the burning, through the pain, through the crushing, just like it did to our Lord and Savior Jesus the Christ, then you will understand the beauty and you could just shout amen, hallelujah, and be joyous though he slay you.
It's about to go down. Michael Shoud and the Takeover Legend Morning Show is back Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Michael Shoud, that's me, Jay Black, Sexy Mo, C-Chum, and celebrity guests that you get nowhere else. That's right, but here on Michael Shoud and the Takeover Legends. Go to our YouTube page, Michael Shoud and the Takeover Legends, and check the exclusive situation all the way out, or catch it live. Get your comments on Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Michael Shoud and the Takeover Legends are back. Yay!
Michael Shoud and the Takeover Legends, where the truth hurts, but also makes you laugh.
Baby, tap in.
We the worst records, baby. We about to create a perfectly horrible song. Y'all know I've been in the gym, and now all I wear is tight shirts, tight shirts, tight shirts, tight shirts, tight shirts. Yes, I do. Michael Shoud wears tight shirts every day. I wear tight shirts because I'm working out some. And if I wear the right size, you won't see none of my little cuts in my arms or whatever. Short sleeve tight shirts in any type of weather. People talking trans when they see me in the street.
Your shirt's so tight, we can see your heartbeat.
Man, clown me if you want, I'm sticking to my guns. And when December comes, it's gonna be fun. You can crack jokes and treat me like a jerk, but one day you'll see my six-pack right through my shirt. And even if I wanted to, I just can't stop. I just might rock an Ezekiel crop top.
Whoa.
What? Did I take it too far? What?
Yes.
Whatever. Tight shirts in the morning at work and when I grieve. I even wear tight pajama tops when I sleep. Tight shirts, tight shirts, tight shirts, tight shirts, tight shirts, tight shirts. Every day. My son wears tight shirts.
Tight shirt, tight shirts, tight shirt. Oh, tight shirt. Hey. Oh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Monday. Well, damn, it's July 20th. Already. Goodness gracious. Jay Black's on vacation. Jay Blizzy, they're celebrating their anniversary. I think it's the 12th anniversary, 11th anniversary, something of that nature. So I think I'm a solo artist. I think I'm Bobby Brown when he left New Edition and took over the world. I think that's what it is. But I'm just giving, just in case, KT, if you want to jump on, you can jump on. I'll figure out how to, put that link out. I always forget. I remembered how to put the link in the chat, and now I forget. Hopefully, we'll see if Sexy Mo jumps on here. to get her points. She got a week to get, because right now, for those who don't know, who are just joining the show, I have had to literally create a game to get my co-host to actually, my fellow host, to actually get on here on time. And Jay Black is taking there's some points I didn't give Jay Black. Jay Black is taking a huge lead, 31-18. Huge. So we'll see if Mo will be able to get back on here. We got Dr. Aisha. I forgot to put that in the title. Reading and telling time should be easy, right? Yes, I got some funny clips of how reading and telling time ain't as easy. So, and it's just some lighthearted stuff. I might change the title. It depends on what we jump into. It's hard to actually get the title because the show is got the attention span of mice. Because we'll jump into something else. The next thing I can never predict exactly what we're going to get caught up in. Maybe it's just the title's going to be Michael Shoud and the Takeover Legend Morning Show. And it doesn't let you put a lot of stuff in there. There's a limit to how many words you can use up in there, speaking of reading. So goodness gracious, trying to make this happen, people, trying to get the title that brings people, here, clickbaiting. Just clickbaiting, just trying. It's advertisement, it's marketing, it's promotion. And once we get them here, we're good. They stay as part of the family. But let me get to these good mornings. Speaking of part of the family, to everybody, let's see who was on here first. Then I'll tell you about my weekend. Ashabu, what up, Ashabu? Good morning, beautiful people. Marvelous Monday. Ashabu, what's going on? Ashabu saying what's up to everybody. I wish I could remove that part right there. That part, y'all can't see it, but this part on stream, y'all are so irritating. Diana, what's going on? Good morning. Hey, Miss Clark, good morning. John, good morning. The doc that made it up here. Oh, wait a second. I said the doc. Yes, I did. Listen, doc.
Yay!
So, doc, I played the intro. And I made the intro where I explained me going back to K104. Then I played what you said to me on the show. I don't know. Did you happen to catch that?
Nope, because I wanted to make sure I got at least some good time with the technicalities. So I said, let me get in the car and hook the mic up and everything. But no, that's dope.
So we're used to you saying moving things, poignant, moving, like we've been spoiled. Like we know the reason why you do it is because that's exactly how you feel. It's not something that you just create because you want it to sound good. This is why
I didn't write it down.
The response that you got for what you said to me was absolutely amazing. I posted that on Sunday. I got phone calls from people who are very close to me, who were so inspired by what you said to me. Was so inspired by what you said, and said, yo, it was Sunday. It was Sunday morning. I put it up. They were like, yo, I'm so inspired. He was spot on. I'm glad he told you that because you needed to hear that. And then they were like, but I'm glad I heard it because I needed to hear that. And I just want you to know that really sparked a lot of emotion in people. And I think you talked to a lot of people. I'm glad you talked to me because trust me, I needed to hear that. And I've watched it about 12 times just to remind myself. And I'm smooth right now. But the reaction was amazing. The reaction was, and I was like, wow. I said, okay. I mean, I know what it is, but we're so used to you hearing that. Literally, if I could go back and clip, but you do it all the time. You know what I'm saying? That is a gift that God has given you. And sometimes it'd be so incredible that I'd be like, I kind of don't agree with what he just said, but the way he said it is making me rethink.
But it sounds good.
It sounds good. It sounds good, but it's also making
it's
me
not
go
what
back.
I think. It's not what I think.
It was like
I like the way he put his.
I don't agree that rappers should be talking like this, but that sound good. But I just wanted
I'm young Miami of academia. That's what it is. I'm the young Miami of academia. You know, people don't like what I'm saying, but it sounds so good.
yeah, and I wish, speaking of Young Miami, I wish I could play, but I can't because then they'll mess with us and start
Oh no,
copyrights. Did you see the young lady from New Orleans who did Spin That, did a
the
remix to
remix, the remix. Yep. I seen that. I seen that. Talking about the cost of living and all that. People in prison, cost of living. Yeah, it was given.
I've never not I should say never. I appreciate that after all the back and forth, that it took a woman who lives in New Orleans to properly give both sides of the story and,
Hmm.
and properly put out there the dilemma going back and forth. And she agreed with Indiari, but she had to let us know the other side of why it's so popular. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Unfortunately, we do take pride in certain shit that maybe we shouldn't. But she broke it down. I was like, wow, I know that woman ain't probably 30, 35 years old. And I appreciated her lyrical skills to actually do that. Because I don't think people understand how hard that is to do something that sounds hot
Yeah.
in hip hop, to have lyrics that sound hot, that keep your attention, and then
Hmm.
factually give both sides of the story. I don't think people understand it. So how was your weekend, Doc? How was your weekend before I get into all
No,
this
no,
stuff?
all is well. Now, I was gonna say, especially when people are conditioned to like certain things. But no, the weekend was smooth. I actually I went to Sight and Sound on Friday night. The whole Bible, stories where they do like it's like a biblical Disney World where they have a whole
Here.
performance and screens I was in Lancaster, PA. They had a couple of them, but the one I went to was out there in Amish town, Lancaster, PA.
Really?
Yeah, it's called Sight and Sound. They'll do David, then they'll do Daniel, then they'll do Joshua. I mean, like whole packed arena. So I didn't know how big of a thing it was. Don't get me to lying like I knew this. I knew it was a thing, but I didn't know it was like this. I got in there, and it's like when you go into those Universal Studios, you go into those different things, and they'll, say sit back and look up at the sky and all the different things. So it was amazing. But I was saying in terms of the way people are prepared, I'd say conditioned. I'll never forget when I took psychology. The best thing I learned about psychology was not only that I was there for 3 years and they didn't have a single woman or a single person of color that had a single thought. Don't know if that's
Mm,
changed since I was in college, but it was Freud, Skinner, Hegel, Kant, Pavlov, like all the white men that look like Santa Claus's cousin, right? And I remember I was
mm,
thinking, yo, this is the 90s. Like I know women think. I know there's Chinese people. I know there's Indian. I know everybody's thinking. So to be
mm,
sitting in there and just accepting what old white men said for years and be like, oh, I study psychology. And it's like, actually, you study all white men. But one of the
mm,
classes that
mm,
I
mm,
always remember being really powerful was when we would talk about social conditioning and social engineering. When
mm,
they showed us, those classic examples of the rat, you see the rat and the cheese and the maze, right? And the
mm,
person creates the maze and they'll put cheese on one side and then they'll put like electric shock on the other side, right? And nobody ever says, hey, what's wrong with that mouse? Why'd it go that way? They'll be like, that's where the cheese was put. It makes perfect sense based on the vantage point or perspective of the engineer. If I engineer it this way,
mm,
this is what's going to happen.
mm.
There might be a crazy mouse that goes and gets zapped and kills itself. I don't know. Sociopath, like I'm not saying I can control all the outcomes, but there's a correlation between my design and the behavior. So I always started to look at society like who built this maze? Who's deciding where the cheese is? Who's deciding where
Mhm.
the shocks are? Who's moving the goalposts? Like that's the way I always started looking at it that much more since taking that class. Cause I was like, this has nothing to do with the mice. So if you get down and be like, yo, let me talk to you mice, like what? No, just change the design. So every time I think about, how hip hop changed, what our appetites are, right? Our appetite is in some ways for destruction and destructive stuff. And scamming wasn't even a thing when I was in college. So this whole thing about scamming being like the most dominant method of crime, it was selling drugs, it was other things, but the fact that things change like that, it's by design. Because people in the hood did not say, hey, let's make scamming cool. It gets accepted into a mainstream that other people control. The way you get movies and the way you get TV shows and the way you get music, whether it's Boys in the Hood, The Wire, whatever you're getting is by designers. So whenever it reaches a level where it can have a national or international impact, this is the designers doing in permission.
That and that's that's the key. There is a designer, and there's a group
Oh,
of designers who have been able to get their hands, even when there's a design and something comes as the outlier, and they notice that this could be messing up the design. They seem to
Fred
be able
Hampton and
to,
Tupac.
yes, they seem to infiltrate. They always seem to be able to infiltrate that to get it back in line, to bring it back in line and bring it back under the programming of obviously, like you said, the mice have nothing to do with this. It's the program. But I guess in this conversation, we're the mice who
Oh,
just
definitely. And there's preventative measures where there's like a buck breaking process that happens subtly, it happens overtly. You could say on a continuum of subtle, you could say microplastics in food, fluoride in drinking water with your pineal gland, right? These are all covert means. Ghislaine Maxwell's father making all the textbooks, right?
making the
Then there's
textbooks.
like,
Yeah,
but then they're celebrating Columbus Day. Then there's like, people losing their jobs, people getting censured, whether it's Farrakhan or Kanye being called crazy. Lauryn Hill was called crazy when she started reading the Bible and talking about the industry. Then there's the more overt. Then there's the JFK. Then there's the Martin Luther King. Then there's the Fred Hampton. We're going to shoot you in your house. We're going to kill you in front of your followers. We're going to shoot you through your throat. You're going to be in that convertible in Dallas, and we're going to let the world know what not to do. So there's a whole continuum. There's a whole plethora of ways where people are just given messages about which way to go. They're nudged before they even understand that they're being nudged. So sometimes you end up doing what you're supposed to. I was watching a movie yesterday called Moses the Black. Most people probably never heard of it. Omar Epps, Wiz Khalifa, produced by
yeah,
50 Cent. I'm like, why does nobody know about this movie? You know why?
yeah.
Because they're not designers. They don't control that level. They can have a movie as big as that Birth of a Nation movie about Nat Turner, right? And then they brought up the whole allegations about him when he was 17 or 18, when he wasn't even found guilty. And I haven't seen him again. What's the guy's name? What's his name? Kristen, whatever the guy. He was in that movie, A Birth of a Nation. He redid the movie about Nat Turner, and then they brought up all the charges he had in college, even though he wasn't found guilty. Nate Parker. Nate Parker. Nate
Oh,
Parker.
yeah, yes, 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 yes,
Haven't
yes.
seen Nate Parker since. That's another way to break people, where it's like, you know what? Keep talking like that, and you'll disappear. And we'll have NWA on.
Mm,
I mean, we'll have somebody else on here every day, because we control the
mm.
slots. You can create everything you want to create. And people used to really think that less people were having conscious conversations or less people were having conscious raps created. No, it's a spotlight. It's a maze. And they were funneling all that into something, uh, that nobody would see. That's the way it worked. But now, people are starting to, even with the unbothered black people after the 92% vote with Kamala Harris and all that, 80 something for black men. I think people are really starting to catch on. 'Cause that's what happens with diseases. That's what happens with animals when you start to control them, you start to manipulate them, you splice their genes, right? They develop resistance, right? And that's what's happened to us. They keep sending these viruses our way, but it seems like we're developing a resistance now. Now we don't snap out every time we hear the N-word unless we just decide to punch somebody in the face. It's not ruining our day. It's not, this whole thing about the smoke, the air quality. Everybody's like, what? This ain't really adding up. Really? Canada? I'm in Philly and I can't see. And I say it every time. They got mad at me with Charlie Kirk. I remember when I came on that day and I was like, everybody got mad. They got mad with Donald Trump, with Butler, right? And I said the official story is never the story. The official
Never,
story is never the story. We can
ever.
talk about this from Christopher Columbus lying to the stories about Washington with his tree to Abe Lincoln supposedly never lying. These are all lies. None of these official stories. He wasn't even in America. Columbus got lost. The official story that they're giving. So a day like last week, where somebody says, "Hey man, I don't know what this got to do with Canada, but something ain't right." It's the same response because people are conditioned. People are conditioned to believe the official story, no matter how crazy and outlandish it is. But I
Mm.
say to people, the official story is never the story. You know what they say? Yeah, man, it's because of these wildfires in Canada. I'm like, are you based on who? Based on Donald Trump's administration? Is that who we're believing? We're believing the Trump administration. Like, that's wild.
It
I
is
mean, but
wild,
some people never wake up.
but it is wild and it's overwhelming because you can't believe anything, and then when sources then they disparage people for thinking freely, and they try and make, like
Oh
the
yeah.
Kanye situation, for lack of a better,
Yeah.
make him look crazy, even though he will show you who runs what. He will show you the majority of people, and they'll make him look crazy, and it's hard to figure out what part of this, where do I go to try and find the real story. And they know most of us don't have enough time in the day to take what it takes to
Yes.
actually research and to get the story. Because we're off to work. We're off to take care of our kids. We're off to try and figure out these bills. God forbid, we're also off to maybe have a social life. So it's like trying to actually find the real story. And then by the time you find the real story, they've already thrown another 12 fake stories that you're now trying
Flood
to
the zone.
They're flooding it. Yeah, flood the zone of your
That's they
brain.
call it. Flood the zone. Yeah.
That is
But this is the irony though. When people keep talking about AI is going to take the jobs, AI is going to take everybody's job. I've said it a million times. Same way I just described those mice. You can create a weed killer. You can create a pesticide. And you know what's going to happen based on the way that God made it? Eventually, they're going to eat a little bit of the pesticide, and some of them aren't going to die. And it's going to be survival of the fittest, and they're going to have mutations in their genes based on the way the pesticide is killing them, because people are programmed for survival. And eventually, what you thought was going to stop people and break people is going to be something they feed off of and just changes into something else. If we, by the millions, did not have these distractions, did not have this stress, did not feed the machine, that would be the death of the machine, because we'd have time to go and burn data centers. We have time to find out who's really doing this and play a reverse Hunger Games, a Luigi Mangione Hunger Games. And we might even set bounties, and it might be a whole Pokemon Go. You know who's destroying tens of millions of lives right now? Bill Gates. And let's see who can find them. And like, you don't know what people will do if they weren't distracted and their time wasn't occupied. They might start looking up universal commercial codes and be like, wait, my birth certificate is an investment and I'm owed money. Like, people will don't sleep on human beings surviving. We walked across ice and did all this other stuff and was animals, and like, we will make it. That's why every time when the whole Trump conversation in the beginning, I used to always say, I'm not scared, I'm not worried. Not even just black people. Black people in America is one example, but just human beings. Human beings are the most resilient thing ever. They drop bombs, put out diseases and all these things, and people are still replicating by the millions to billions. We gonna be all right.
Well, yeah. Yeah. That's why I like talking to you, because I there's a lot of days where I have to stop thinking, because I think to myself, I don't know. I know there are going to be some people who ain't going to be all right, because there are going to be people who are going to have to be the victims of what is going on, which is a scary part, because you start becoming selfish. You get real tribal. I just don't want my family to be one of the victims. And you try and protect as much as you can. Like, it's ironic you brought Luigi up. It's just so crazy how that man is still in jail, but we hear nothing about him.
Oh yeah, don't make him a hero, don't make him a martyr. Because this is the thing too. Remember how many times over the years they've interviewed Manson?
Yes.
Geraldo would go back 20 years later, 30. They keep talking to Charles Manson, right? But then they talk about, his CIA connections and all these other things. They keep Charles Manson going. They can keep somebody going if they want to. John Benet Ramsey. Oprah Winfrey at the top of the height. Oprah with her own channel is doing John Benet Ramsey reflections 25, 30 years later. They could keep something going. What's the other girl, the guy who went to Cuba? Natalie Holloway. Remember they lost her? They drained the swamp over there in somebody else's nation, just looking for some white blonde girl. If they want to keep it going, they show you. We control the mechanisms of power and promotion. The internet has in some ways decentralized it, but now you see on the internet, it's not the Wild Wild West like it used to be. It's not the Napster. It's not the Hebrew Israelites videos. You type in something like that, you're going to see all the bad things about a group. The algorithm has shifted. Right? And it got you away from the rabbit hole that used to take people through a whole education about 9/11 and everything within an hour and a half. So no, it's real. But I think when people realize the way it works, that's why we haven't seen a interview with Wise Intelligent from Poor Righteous Teachers on a mainstream platform in the past 30 years. I'm talking Breakfast Club. He wasn't here, right? Like what? Like, but did they purposely? Hip hop's a great example. They purposely take the Heavy D's and the Big Daddy Kanes and the LL Cool J's. That was intentional. They could have just as easily said Brand Nubian, Poor Righteous Teacher, Public Enemy. Like they could have done that. They could have made that the story, the narrative. The 50 years of hip hop celebration could have had a whole big conscious segment with KRS and like some people were in it, and even that they'll bring KRS one and be like, "Yo, do Rapture." You know, that was your platinum hit. You were Diddy. You know? Like I'm saying, people in hip hop could see it and be like, "You're right. You know what? There's a certain type of hip hop." That's why they say things like in the beginning, hip hop was all about the party. When one of the first popular songs was The Message.
Yes.
Like how do we miss that? How do we get? Because for me, I'm gonna be real with you. If we talk big songs, I'll say Rapper's Delight. I'll give you Curtis Blow Basketball, you know, first one signed to the major, because I remember being on a record and everything and not just playing out the boombox and not taping off the radio. For me, I'm talking about my experience, what really hit me. Rapper's Delight, Curtis Blow, Basketball, the soundtrack to Beat Street was big for me, but to put it in proper order, The Message. The songs that I was like, I got to listen to every, and I remember when Lottie Dottie, it was like certain songs just like Nas said about Run DMC, blew his brains to bits. Like Eminem said when he first heard Yoke the Joker and Tretch, and when he first heard Illmatic, he just, you know, he said he first heard Naughty by Nature, he quit for like a month. He didn't even know what to do with himself. Like, these are the songs. Like, so out of the songs I'm talking about, there's a party song, there's a song about girls. Honestly, Beat Street is sort of like The Message. Beat Street, the king of the beat. I see.
But even if
the
you
whole
go
world's
to
in shambles.
But think about it. When you go to The Message, which is basically it's basically he's giving you the whole synopsis of what the city, the
socio-political commentary. Yes, sociology.
And then after that, there's a song called White Lines, where White Lines is speaking about the drugs and the invasion of drugs in the community. And these songs,
dispels another lie that all this drug talk came later. Because that's another false narrative in hip hop. It's like, in the beginning it was about the party. Now it's all this gang stuff, and now it's all. But yeah, you're right. White Lines and the party. I mean, white Lines and The Message dispel 90% of this narrative that these latecomers who were only conditioned to appreciate and even acknowledge. You ever have I shouldn't say this, but I'm gonna say it. You ever have a white person you work with that sees you outside of the job but doesn't notice you when they see you outside the job? I've had a lot of black people say they've experienced that, where it's like at work, they're like, "Hey, Mike, hey, Aaron," right? But then you see them just walking down the street and you got to like grab them because they're so trained to not talk to black people and not acknowledge them. They'll walk right past a few black people that they know, their black friend at work. I've had this happen a lot of times. It started to click with me. It's like, oh, when you're outside, your lens is different. You don't see black people. So I noticed that when a lot of people, like when they finally discover hip hop, but they're trained not to see race and not to look at the. So no, I've heard so many people reciting Rapper's Delight. I've hardly ever heard a non-black person recite The Message.
Of course not.
I'm saying, but it's like you're trained to like you can digest this. You know, you can eat this. It's like a baby with a raw steak. Nothing you can do with it. Right? Give it some milk. That's what you can handle. That's what you can digest. But no, I think hip hop is a great example because people can look back and be like, yeah, what happened to these songs? Like think about it. Who's the designer? Because we were all listening to these songs. We all enjoyed what we just talked about. So why is the narrative different?
Yes. And we were the designer. And I always say the minute then she's passed away, Sylvia Rome, and these folks became the person who signed somebody. Technically, you were no longer the designer because then they are going to tell you what they believe is going to be marketable. But I go back to your point of songs they forget. If we review back to Run DMC is going to tell you they're going to tell you briefly about Sucker MCs being the first song that they got. Then the highlight for some reason of their career is going to be when they did the song Walk This Way.
Yeah, crossover.
And the crossover, but they're going to miss the fact that they made a song called It's Like That.
And that's the way it is.
And they're going to make a song, they're going to skip over that of, once again, like you said, hip hop was one of its traits was always their political view on, or their political display lyrically on what was going on. It was an awareness to let people know what was going on. So
it shows how dominant the message was, because back then it was almost like if you didn't have a message, no pun intended, like message, like if the message as a song was so dominant that if you didn't have one of those, it was like, like Run DMC, they were representing a whole different shift, right? In the culture, in the fashion, but they still knew we have to at least solidify ourselves by letting them know we identify with what's going on out here. Because that was the problem with Rappers Delight. People saw that. It was like, yeah, this looks a little forced and disconnected and a little manufactured. Oh, these guys didn't know each other. That makes sense, right? That's nice.
that makes sense.
Grandmaster Cash, right? But I'm saying, but for Run DMC, they wanted to dress like the people from the neighborhood. They wanted to be in touch with it. So in order to do that, in order to come out authentic, they needed a message. And the breaks, these are the breaks, right?
Great.
Think about it. Yeah. So Curtis Blow had one. Run DMC had one. People had their messages. The message was just the one that was the most dominant and first and all that. But yeah, it was a major part of the culture to have that kind of awareness to make sure you are authentic. Similar to the 5% Nation and the lessons around the time when Rakim came out. When almost all the rappers, right, Big Daddy Kane, everybody was either a Muslim 5%er, because that's how Peach Fuzz with KMD, it was so dominant. Now it's the B turn, where literally they're talking about culture freedom, power refinement, equality, God, build, destroy, bones, I, cipher, murderer. I'm listening to Grand Poobah not even knowing that I'm learning supreme wisdom from Elijah Muhammad, and the late lessons that the Nation of Islam ended up giving to the 5% Nation through Clarence 13X. I'm singing a song.
And Doc.
I'm singing, I'm 8.
And what happened was, Doc, is I will give them credit. The powers that be realized how impactful.
Oh, yes.
They already know how impactful music is. They already know that that repeating something like this and absorbing like this subconsciously is building something. So when
I know it to this day. I'm 50 plus, and I heard it when I was 8, and I said it like I just studied it early this morning. Dangerous.
And just remember, there's a point in hip hop, and I'm sorry, y'all. Once again, we got the ADHD, but I think this is interesting. There's a point in hip hop that, without saying it, they were going against capitalism. Nobody.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't fashionable to have chains. There was a point where it was fashionable to see you represent with an Africa symbol. It was there was a slot where people were going against capitalism without saying they were going against capitalism. It just happened to be where people were like, let's rep this, let's rep us, and let's spread more knowledge. And I know we sound like the old people but people I never thought.
The young people need to know. I played Africa by Stetson Sonic, where they were like, the girl in Angola, and the country's ruled by a man named Botha. Like, they were explaining the geopolitical ramifications of apartheid, AFRICK, Angola, Soweto, Zimbabwe, Tanzania, Africa, Tanzania, Mozambique, and Botswana. So let us speak about the motherland. Like, I'm watching this on Video Music Box, and I'm sitting there like, wow. I remember YZ. Remember YZ from Jersey? Now He said, thinking of a master plan. Open your eyes, a black president solution. What? This is him during a parade to free Nelson Mandela out in the street. YZ is thinking of a master plan. Who's the man with the master plan? Like, I'm a child learning about how bad it is that apart. Like, this is the type of, like what Wise Intelligence said. We were primed for revolution. We're hearing this every day, that apartheid has to stop, that you need to understand who you are as a person and be proud to be black. I remember KRS One talking about Shem was a black man in Africa. Repeat that fact. They can't laugh at you. What? I'm watching the black man's in effect, and you must learn. It's like, yo, what else can I do after hearing all this?
And right now, we are all trying to eat healthy. We are all trying to remove parasites. We're scrolling on TikTok and trying to get to. KRS was made a song about beef.
What a relief.
Beef. What a relief. When will this poisonous
product cease?
Product cease. He made a song. Trying to so they saw the power, because basically what now we created a genre. Not that nobody rapped before, because people rapped before in the 50s. There were people who I've seen it. But we made it where we made a genre that was directly saying, I'm just going to talk to you. I'm just going to talk to you. You can't get any more direct than what we're doing right now and have a beat under it. And have a beat under it.
And not a lot of control. The other interesting part is you're right, because they always say that the devil is wicked but clever, right? It is masterful. But people need to realize they've never stopped watching us and studying us and trying to influence our behavior. That's the part people miss. It's like the one thing that people are masters at. People say, "What's culture? What's the culture?" This whole recent surge of people being aware of how obsessed other people are with black people, that's like the masses are learning it. But a lot of people knew for a long time. Yeah, COINTELPRO and slave breakers and hiring a black person, and they got a guy called Samuel Cartwright who had something called drapetomania. That was when they said that the enslaved people were crazy if they tried to run away. It was a real condition, right? So he would be what they call a Negro physician. So he would go from plantation to plantation and be like, "Yo, you having trouble with people running away? You having trouble with people rebelling? This is what I did." And he did how to give lashes in front of other people and how to use sexist violence and all these things. They would write books and give consultings, and like this is what they've done forever. The Kerner Commission, like White Intelligence said, they wanted to know why the riot started and how to prevent it from happening again. And they talked about the music, right? Like you said, and an enhanced sense of racial pride. Those two are the main things. So as long as they got racial pride and the music has a message, then it might burn again. All these cities might burn again. So they knew what they had to attack. They had to attack the racial pride. Even now, you see the banning the books and all these other things taken down. They just took down the panels down at George Washington House last week again. I don't know if y'all knew about that, but we fought to get it back when Trump took it down. They said in the middle of the night last week they took it down again. A flood in the zone. Because it's not the biggest thing on Trump's list. When I saw that the 2 military service people just died and one's still missing, and he wants to go to golfing while that's happening, and then go to the World Cup while the smoke is all over the place, people can't breathe. Like,
and let me just to that point. So with athletes, when people were so like shocked in the NBA world, and I'm going to correlate this about Jaylen Brown being traded, a man who has helped you win a NBA championship and was the Eastern Conference Finals MVP, the Finals MVP, and then we hear that one of the critiques that GMs had when he was coming out of college is that the disease he had was that he thinks he's the smartest man in the room, and they had a very big problem. They called it a disease that he had with being the smartest guy in the room. So when you want to know why Boston traded him, something that I've never seen in sports, at his superpower, stuff like this is what they this is why one of the reasons.
Pocket watch. The biggest deals in NBA history. And you did something unprecedented after that. You announced that you would utilize your platform to create Black Wall Street again, which is something that most people would never do. Let's be honest. Might not like what I say next. Most people, they'll get them a house, get them a white girl, and they go off into the sunset. This is the normal blueprint. What made you take what I think should be the normal route?
I refuse to adopt the idea that me being an athlete, I'm just here to entertain. They want our athletes, our musicians, our entertainers, our people of influence to think that we just here for entertainment purposes. And I'm gonna forever disagree with that. Some of these young people that's coming up now got God-given abilities that you can't even hide. This is not meant for entertainment. This is meant for influence. So like when they talk about like why I went up there and said what I said or did what I did, or why I'm gonna allocate my funds to this, because being a part of a community and seeing some of the problems, seeing some of the things that people of color have suffered and through institutionalized racism.
You got one of the biggest.
And I'll give you one better. And I'll give you one better, Jaylen Brown. Why they don't like Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown said, when I realized our union, what they have to, as a union, teach me how to invest. They have to show me. My union has to show me. They have people who specialize in investing money. I don't need an agent. He didn't use an agent. He signed at that moment. He signed the biggest deal in NBA history. He never used it. Yeah, he never used an agent. But these are the people who they will try to destroy. These are the people because the last thing you want.
Threaten the system.
Yeah, exactly. Not only did he threaten the system, but he said this system has to work for me. This union has to work for me. Whatever I want, I pay my $20,000 or $10,000 a month. This is what you have to do. And it would be one thing if he just did it. The problem is What if he makes all the NBA players aware?
Oh yeah.
What if they start going? What if that awareness spreads and they start going, oh, in their case, their system has to do this for us, which then starts to influence the average person who says, the system that I'm in, what are they supposed to do for me? What is it that I need to demand? And another thing, and then we'll get back. I'm going to show you this clip. The NBA and the NFL are okay with players going broke at 6 years after they leave.
Yeah.
What the NBA never wants to do is what is happening with LeBron. I'm not saying LeBron's going to use it. He's going to use it for whatever. But they can't start creating billionaires while they're in the league.
Yeah, something got to give.
They can't create billionaires while they're in the league. They can't create people to have that type of freedom and to be aware of the freedom to go like, okay, I no longer need this league. This is what I have. They need people to go broke after 6 years. You can't have a bunch of young men who become aware of what they need to do with the money. But that was just something you sparked with me when we're talking about the message being taken out of hip hop. The message seems to be taken out of everything in society. The first thing they want to do is make sure you don't make people aware in whatever you're doing, whether it's radio, whether it's being a professor, whether it's being working at a place where you just decide a union needs to be made. They don't want you to actually create that. All right, I have an interesting clip I want to play for you, and then we're gonna have a little bit of fun. I don't know how long you're gonna be here. We got our therapist.
No, see, my battery's low, but I'm hanging out. I'm hanging out until it goes off. But even what you said, Mike, you said that they consider it a disease. So it's a direct tie, because I was just telling you about the whole enslaved thing where they said drapetomania was disease if you wanted to be free. So back then it was disease to want to be free. Today it's a disease to want to be smart.
And both ways in both ways it's sort of being free.
Yeah, you're conscious of your situation. Yeah, you're conscious of what you deserve. You're conscious of your humanity, and you demand to be a human being and fully express yourself. And the response to that from an oppressive society is that nigga must be crazy. That's why Richard Pryor's title was so apt, because there's a double layer there when it's like that nigga's crazy. Oh, I was watching the Richard Pryor show on YouTube where he was the one season, half a season, because too many messages.
Yeah.
But he, at one point, he imitated Idi Amin, and he was talking about, all these jokes and eating the white people, kicking them out, and all these different things. And I was like, this is why he got kicked off. Forget our city on Farrakhan. But that nigga's crazy is the perfect title, because to be crazy, it means, like you said, you're off the plantation. And I this is another good story. Before you play the clip,
go ahead.
I remember talking to my professor who was teaching a hip hop class. And I was like, I don't know what's going to happen, but same way you said about LeBron, I said something has to give, because it was Jay-Z had been a billionaire, and then Nas was bouncing back. I remember they put Khalees on all the shows to talk bad about Nas and say that he was abusive. Like they had a smear campaign going on Nas with the consciousness and all this stuff. And then Nas bounced back. Nas started winning with the streets and the battle, and they started doing business, right? And I told my teacher, I said, they can't keep replicating this. They're going to have to get rid of one of them, or they're going to have to ignore this and write this out of history. And they chose to write it out of history. I think after Tupac, they start really doing the martyr thing. But that's one of the greatest stories in hip hop. For all the beefs and all the deaths, these two not only worked together, they both became billionaires. What are the chances of two black people becoming billionaires? These two rappers are like, I'm saying they could feed us that every day. They could frame our understanding of hip hop as goals. They could talk about Biggie and Pac. They could talk about people getting locked up. They gave us after that No Jumper, DJ Academics, Whack 100, some of those negative, uninformed, non-hip-hop content for the next 10 to 15 years. They bombarded us to the point that now you're more likely to hear an interview with a gang member than an actual rapper.
Absolutely.
And they call it hip-hop. But I'm saying, but that's where... But they definitely put something together. The same way they did with NWA from Conscious Rap and all that. They did it. When Jay-Z and Nas, they were supposed to kill each other. Something bad was supposed to happen. They went and started making money and doing business, and a new plan went into effect. And we're still dealing with that assault.
Unions are created for poor white men and white immigrants to complete for the jobs enslaved people were vying for.
Yep, they boxed us out.
You were saying that I don't want to get too much into because I know, guys, I know we've talked about Jay-Z. I wish Doc would have been here when me and Jay Black were going back and forth about Jay-Z. I think that's what and I once again I say I don't want to get deep into it, but the fact of the matter is when I bring it up, it's gonna I think that's why the disappointment and why we feel so betrayed with Jay-Z. I think it just I think maybe that he was our hope. I mean, I don't know. Let me let Doc get that together. He's getting it together. He's gonna be all right. He's getting it together. Let's get to some get it together music. Let's get some get. Let's get to I had to get it together music here. All right, let me get a few more comments. Jay. All right, corrects and informally enslaved. Got you. The doc should be in our therapist should be here in a few minutes. I was trying to get this. All right, well, let's get to the title then. Let me play the clip. Reading and telling time should be easy. Let's get a little lightweight stuff in here. Oh, Doc. All right, I'll try to. All right. All right. So, damn. Got you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I don't know if I can hear you.
I'm talking. You can't hear me.
Oh gosh. Hold on.
All right, figure it out. All right, to save the day, look who pops in out of nowhere. KT, that she can't hear me now. Jeez Louise, go back. What is it with StreamYard? What is it? We were rocking. We were going. We were what StreamYard? What is the actual problem that when people pop in, all of a sudden the connection drops? What is the damn problem? They have to leave the house and come back in the house. Can you hear me now?
I can.
Oh, KT has entered the building. All right.
Good morning. I see you rang.
Oh yeah, I just put it out there just in case. Okay. I didn't know who was gonna pop in. Doc is still trying to struggle. Everything was fine. First of all, your event
you wasn't feeling lonely.
Yeah, your event happened Friday. How'd everything go at the event? How did it pop off? Let us know. Explain how was your weekend?
My weekend was actually very good. I still kind of sound tired from my weekend too. Sorry for the groggy voice. The event went very well.
Nice.
I do believe people were a little afraid of the bullshit air quality situation. But so my numbers weren't exactly where they were, just being totally transparent. But great great night of connections, I will say. For those who missed, y'all blew it because James Elodie burnt that mic down something crazy. He performed pieces I've never heard in a way I've never heard. Missed your opportunity to hear a little bit of erotic poetry as well. The performances were amazing that night.
Okay.
So
all right.
Y'all blew it if y'all didn't come.
First of all, congratulations.
We really did.
Do you have another event set up, a date yet? Or are you still in the works of another
We
one?
are securing a date for the Q spot for September.
For September.
So,
all right.
Yes.
So KT, in our conversations, let me know the fact that you said that sparked it. That there's this, I guess, category of spoken word that's called erotic. It's called erotic what?
Erotic poetry.
Erotic poetry. But this is some intense erotic poetry. It can be very intense. And we talking intenses. People can get dances and stuff like this at these erotic poets.
Oh yes, some of the shows there will be pole dancers, performing their poetry as well. They might pull somebody up on stage and give them a lap dance. There are couples that actually do erotic poetry together, so they're, spitting together and stuff. So that's a whole vibe. Yeah, there's whole collectives of poets that, that's what that collective does. That, I know
How,
two of them.
how did
We've had
my
a few of them on here, actually. We just didn't have them doing
we
erotic
didn't have well,
poetry.
we got to bring them back and have
I
them do
wasn't
it.
sure if y'all were ready for that.
I didn't know that y'all got down. I didn't know that y'all all of a sudden it could turn into. I didn't know. I didn't know. Y'all just happen to be lyrical with it. Y'all happen to be lyrical with it.
Some of them
Okay,
happen to be able to flip around on a pole while they do it.
so since you're here, I wanted to play this when Jay Black was here because we both struggle. We both struggle. So this young man, when it comes to this reading thing can get tricky. The tricky words can get tricky. Now Jay may take it a little further than I do, but we both have our moments. So this young man goes out and you've seen this guy do these clips. He'll go out, he'll basically ask you a bunch of questions and set you up and say, read this index card.
Mhm.
And like, read this index card. So this is one of, and this woman, when he interviewed her, ain't nothing like somebody who has decided that their whole existence on life is based on their job title. It is based on their job title or whatever they're studying. They will tell you what they are studying. They will bring it into any conversation. Being that I study, it could be anything. Y'all could be talking about what team LeBron may choose to go to, and somehow or another
Their degree has to come up.
Yeah, they're like, well, being that I study this or what type of psychotherapy or whatever. Well, this woman is asked a question about her value, and she's one of those. She needs to let you know. Let me see she needs to let you know what she's studying. And she's got a little alcohol in her, but I'm gonna play this.
19.
Are you single?
Yeah.
How long you been single for?
I've been single for 2 years.
Why you been single for so long?
Because I don't fuck with any.
Is there a reason for that?
They're not on the same wavelength as me.
What are you looking for in a man?
A nigga that's invested in his career.
Does he have to make a certain amount of money?
For sure.
How much money is that?
Over 100,000.
How much money do you make?
Over 100,000 for sure.
Well, what do you do for a living?
I'm in mechanical engineering.
Would you say you're pretty smart?
I'm for sure smart as
What's your level of education?
Calculus 3.
Yeah, was that high school?
Calculus 3? What you mean I'm in high school?
Is that high school education?
That's college. I'm on my 3rd year for mechanical engineering.
So you can do the basic things like read.
You talk about basic and I feel like you sit here trying to embarrass me.
No, I said that means you know the basics. You can read, write, all of that stuff.
Obviously, I can basic in engineering and write.
Can we test that theory?
Let's test the theory.
Read the index card.
The philosophical dictate. Bro, what is this? Dictionary. Bro, give me the mic. No, don't piss me off.
Why you need the mic?
Because I'm in mechanical engineering.
All right, so that is the index card. Let me see if I can get the index card back.
19.
Are you single?
Pause it
Yeah.
right there.
How long you been single?
All right, so let me see. Who wants the there it is.
You want me
there.
to read it?
No, let me give it a
Are you
try
about to
first.
test me?
No, because I know you got it. Because I already know you're smarter than me when it comes to this. The philosophical dichotomy generated considerable discourse among distinguished scholars.
Okay, get it, sir. Perfect. Nailed it.
Got it. I'm never gonna read it again. I'm never gonna read it again.
I'm never gonna read it again. Nailed it.
I'm so lucky. Let me give myself a round of applause. Because
Jay would have fucked.
Yeah, Jay would have tore that down. But philosophical, it almost sounds like a face word. It almost sounds like a word that people make. Philosophical dichotomy generated, because I almost feel like they're trying to trick. If I had some liquor in my system, chances are I wouldn't be. If I would have had, and you would have just shown me that, and the pressure of having a camera. But it gets even better. And this ain't. I don't think.
The mechanical engineering girl, just stop, because you just embarrassed your family.
Yeah, I thought reading would definitely be an essential thing in mechanical engineering.
I work with engineers all day long. It is very essential.
It's essential.
Very essential. they would probably able to read that when they're drunk too. But
You know
I didn't
what?
say that, y'all.
What we should have done. What we should have done was I should have put the link out there, and we should have had people take a shot at it and see who wanted to take a shot at. That's what we should have done. But there's another thing.
Come on, Rick.
Every time we have some technology that gets put out here, people being able to tell time has turned into something. There's a whole generation of people who can't tell time on a regular old school clock.
They cannot. They cannot. I've actually witnessed that in person, and I was dumbfounded. Like, who did not teach you how to read a clock? I thought that was basic foundational education.
I thought, but we are definitely wrong. We were definitely wrong. Here's a clip of them trying. He got the clock. Let me see. Here it goes. Here it is. Here it is. This is the huge difficulty of telling time.
2:30.
What time is it?
2:32, 2:33 almost.
What time is it?
Is that 6, 5, 10, 15, 6, 15, 6, 17?
What time is it?
6:11.
What time is it?
6:11.
What time is it?
Why am I struggling?
You got it?
12:35.
What time is it?
Probably 7, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 6 o'clock, 6:59.
What time is it?
That's a little off, because that's not 59, it would have been closer to 8, and it's not 7, because the 12 is too close to 12. Is that a number? Shit, 7 o'clock.
What time is it?
That's not right though. Thank you. That's not right though.
Y'all need to look up how an analog clock works. That hour hand would be closer to the 7 if it's 12. I swear to God, this picture.
Now listen. She does have a point that it should have been on the 7.
Don't help.
No.
Don't try to help. Don't try to help. Don't try to help. Don't try.
It should.
Nope.
It should be where that 7 is at. Shouldn't it be like 7:02? Shouldn't it be like 7:02? Where the 7 is at? Where the little hand's on the 7? Because normally at 7 o'clock, the little hand is directly on the 7.
Okay, but if your argument is that the longer arm is not all the way on the 12, then that would make it 6:59.
Right. Well, okay. Let me play the rest of it. Let me play, because they're adamant. All right.
He's wrong for what
They are,
time he's
and
thinking it's supposed to say. I'm not crazy.
I can vouch for that.
What time is it?
7:26, 7:27.
What time is it?
4:47.
What time is it?
4:35.
What time is it?
3:50.
What time is it?
11:15.
What time is it?
11:15.
What time is it?
11:10.
What time is it?
1:45.
What time is it?
11:50. I mean 2:50. Sorry, 2:50.
Listen, I can't hate on them, because this is what kills me. Why would you stop teaching these kids how to tell time? Why do we keep subtracting things that we're teaching them? Like
To dumb them down.
To dumb them down. I think we should have had a red flag when they stopped teaching cursive on how to write your name.
Absolutely.
It's like but
that's around the same time that this new math came in, and they stopped teaching the clocks as well. All of that was around the same time. I remember that because it would have been shortly after my daughter graduated from high school is when I really started seeing like cursive not being taught anymore, and no longer with the analog clocks. Like, I was surprised when we got an analog clock as a gift. I'm like, oh, somebody in the world still finds the importance of these for my son. And I'm like, somebody understands the importance of this. Thank you very much. But yeah, that it's just slowly all just be dependent on your phone, be dependent on your computers, become dependent on AI. Just slowly keep dumbing them down. I believe I had a conversation with you with what they're doing with special education in the health department.
No, what?
And that tie-in. I think it was after there was a matter of fact, it was a comment that popped up in here that triggered me.
No, not the
And
trigger.
it was a comment that triggered me. I'm not gonna go too deep into it. But the comment was that, the person in the video was need to be locked up. We had all identified that there was a special need.
Oh,
With this person.
yes. I do remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it was said that that person needed to be locked up and the key thrown away. And that triggered me. And it triggered me because of, again, I'm not going to go too deep into this. What they are doing, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is doing with the health department, and what they are doing with education and special education goes hand in hand. In terms of my child, that is exactly what they pretty much want to do with him.
Which is what? Which is by what?
They
by
want
what
to
means?
pretty
Like
much
how?
train him to either become institutionalized as an adult because they don't feel he should be out in the community, and to basically become a slave worker. It's just like the prison system.
Right.
So yeah, they want to train them to do agricultural jobs and stuff like that. And he has this idea of these special camps that he says that these children and adults should go into. And basically that's what it is. They want to make them laborers.
Yeah. So yeah, and that is
Y'all find me dead first, okay?
So
Y'all
there's
find
so
me
much
dead
going.
first if they try that shit with my son. Anyway,
So let me get
get on my horse.
In the opposite, let me get to my stupid dummy. One of my nominees for stupid dummy of the week. This is a cop who lost her job, and it's a long story, but here, enjoy, y'all. Enjoy the story and enjoy the copper.
Transferred to Nashville from the San Diego Police Department. Prior to serving as a police officer, I served in the United States Marine Corps for 9 years.
In 2022, she graduated from the Metro Police Academy. The department even chose her among a handful of promising officers to represent her graduating class.
I came here to Nashville with my family and my husband included, who is also now a member of the Metro Police Department with me. We have 3 children together, ages 6, 4, and 1 years old. And we love spending time as a family and doing everything we can throughout the city of Nashville.
Officer Lisa Vidrios seemed to have it all.
Hi, I'm Lisa Vidrios, and I transferred to Nashville from the San Diego Police Department. Prior to serving as...
According to this internal report obtained by News 2, in May of last year, the 37-year-old woman and another Metro police officer began having an affair. According to the Office of Professional Accountability, Lisa Vidrios and the unnamed male officer, who's an 18-year veteran, reportedly had sexual relations multiple times while on duty, in police cars.
Stop it. And now, where else?
And here at Madison Middle School, where the 37-year-old served as a school resource officer. According to the report, Vidrios and the veteran officer had sex in Vidrios's SRO office while children were present in the schoolhouse. According to the OPA report, according to this internal report, there is overwhelming evidence that the officers had sex in a Metro building and the male officer's police car. That evidence includes video, pictures, and text chains, as well as an admission of wrongdoing by Vidrios. According to the internal report, the male officer has not been interviewed because he was on medical leave during the investigation. Then he was approved for a medical pension for an injury he sustained on duty. This report indicates if he returns to active duty, OPA investigators will question him about this matter. There is overwhelming evidence.
So basically, I gotta play the job, people.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh boy.
Michael, Sean, and Jay Black, I need you to tell me who is the stupid dummy of the day.
Yeah.
Now people, I'm not gonna try to act holier than thou. I'm not. I'm not going to spread my business. I'm not going to share. I'm just saying there is a possibility that sometimes the horniness gets to you and you may take a chance. You may risk it all. It's dumb. It's ridiculously dumb. But, and I want to emphasize, but I'm not smashing you out in the middle school.
No, that's a little too risky.
I'm
That's too risky.
Too
risky. And I see them in the chat. It wasn't in front of them.
It wasn't in front.
But it was during the school day. So at any given time, a random child could have popped up.
Yes. I didn't hear. It wasn't in front of the kids. They were reciting erotic poetry randomly.
Shut up, Rick.
And I don't know, people. There's a certain. Y'all can sit up here in the chat. Now, let's be clear. They didn't have sex in front of the kids. What they're being? What is she? She's about to lose her job because she has sex in a place where kids were. So I get it, but I don't get too high on your pedestal, y'all. Don't get too high on your pedestal, because there's some stories. I'm looking through this chat. There's some stories that y'all may not want to share, like the people in Atlanta at her job in the courthouse, judge and cop. Y'all not gonna share it, but I would bet $1.75 that somebody here has taken part in some risky behavior at their job.
Chat.
No, let the quiet. let the quiet.
Chat.
Let everybody be quiet. They're about to be on the registry.
I lost the bet. I'm not taking the bet.
You're not taking the bet.
No, I'm not taking the bet. I would lose the bet.
Dude, so you risked it all. You risked it all at the job.
There was a young and dumb phase of my life like everyone else's.
Let me see if I got who else. Damn. They can't wait until they get off duty and get a room. TP.
Miss Sean said she's done risky things too, but that's just too risky.
It wasn't.
See, the next time Jay leaves, he needs a backup, so you don't have to worry about the chat and popping up. I don't have that function. I'm sorry, I can't help you there.
Listen, people.
But I can read them.
Listen. Yeah, listen. You can share if you would like to share, but please don't get holier than thou. Please don't get holier than thou right now, because I know. And you know what? I'm not even gonna keep relying on this. Oh, I was young and dumb. Some of y'all did that shit in your 30s. Some of y'all got in your.
It was just young and dumb. Wait.
In your 30s. Dr. Aisha Holman is in the building. Doc, what's going on?
Hey there.
Good morning.
How you doing, Doc?
Wonderful.
Doc, once again, you do not have to jump into our shenanigans before we start asking you questions. But you don't have to. But I don't like when people get holier than thou. A female police officer, she was doing great. She had all types of honors and all types of accomplishments, and she
well decorated.
Thank you, KT. That's why you're here. See, thank you. Well decorated. Well, come to find out, she got caught. One of her jobs is she worked at a middle school as a police officer.
Okay.
And her and another allegedly officer had some intimate situations. They had sex at the middle school, and she got caught. They got caught. And people, that's wrong. And that is wrong. I don't want to put that activity. You should have more common sense and more decency than to take part in that in your office at the middle school.
During the school day, for context. During the school day.
And I understand. And I'm not gonna compromise and say no. If you get caught, you should lose your job. It makes no sense. But I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to let the chat sit here and act like y'all, maybe not at a middle school, but y'all at your job ain't never risked it all. There's somebody in this chat.
Yeah.
You had a couple slightly admitting it, just a little.
And the doc got a big smile on her face right now. The doc has a big smile on her face, Doc. I had to play the music for you, Doc. All of a sudden, I told this story, and there's a smile almost.
Now he told you he was not gonna pull you into the shenanigans.
No, you ain't
and then pulled you into the shenanigans.
Yeah. Look, all I'm gonna say is for all the married couples out in the world, if you have a lockable office and that works for you, do you do?
Lockable
office.
Oh wow.
I'm not mad at it.
Wow.
I'm mad at the office in the school building, but
You know that,
Doc
right.
just said, I'm here for that. I'm here for that.
I swear I'm about to ask the chat. If you have, now you don't have to, obviously. I can't force you to get on your phone and start if you have risked it all at the job, where the emotions and the physical attraction and for lack of a better term, the horniness kicked in, and you were like, and all of a sudden you made a movie in the file room. Somebody like the doc who she presents herself a lot better than me. She says, if you happen to have a lockable door, which I don't know what door is not lockable. I don't know what doors. I guess they're doors with no locks. But if you happen to have a lockable door, have you taken part? Have you risked it all? Knowing damn well you need this job. You've been there for 20 years. You need these benefits. You need your 401k, and you are risking it all. And some of y'all trifling ass married people know this is the only spot you got. You can't get no room. This is it. You can't have that on your financial situation. You can't.
But she was cheating on her husband. The cop was cheating on her husband.
Oh, see, now we're in a whole different conversation.
Dr. Holman did not see the clip. Yes, she was cheating on her husband with another cop in the SRO room of a middle school during the school day.
Yeah,
and things have been caught on camera, etc. Yes.
Let me see.
You might have to replay the clip first. You might have to replay the clip.
You know what?
A lot more going on in the clip than
I'm going to replay the clip. I'm going to replay the clip, and while I replay the clip, I'm going to scan through the chat and see if anybody is bold enough to be as transparent as to let us know. Were you working at Home Depot? Where and it was on break time, and there was a spot in the warehouse. But I'll play the clip.
Transferred to Nashville from the San Diego Police Department. Prior to serving as a police officer, I served in the United States Marine Corps for 9 years.
In 2022, she graduated from the Metro Police Academy. The department even chose her among a handful of promising officers to represent her graduating class.
I came here to Nashville with my family, and my husband included, who is also now a member of the Metro Police Department with me. We have 3 children together, ages 6, 4, and 1 years old. And we love spending time as a family and doing everything we can throughout the city of Nashville.
Officer Lisa Vidrios seemed to have it all.
Hi, I'm Lisa Vidrios, and I transferred to Nashville from the San Diego Police Department. Prior to serving as...
According to this internal report obtained by News 2, in May of last year, the 37-year-old woman and another Metro police officer began having an affair. According to the Office of Professional Accountability, Lisa Vidrios and the unnamed male officer, who's an 18-year veteran, reportedly had sexual relations multiple times while on duty, in police cars, and here at Madison Middle School, where the 37-year-old served as a school resource officer. According to the report, Vidrios and the veteran officer had sex in Vidrios's SRO office while children were present in the schoolhouse. According to the OPA report, according to this internal report, there is overwhelming evidence that the officers had sex in a metro building and the male officer's police car. That evidence includes video, pictures, and text chains, as well as an admission of wrongdoing by Vidrios. According to the internal report, the male officer has not been interviewed because he was on medical leave during the investigation. Then he was approved for a medical pension for an injury he sustained on duty. This report indicates if he returns to active duty, OPA investigators will question him about this matter. There is overwhelming evidence that the officers had sex in a metro building and the male officer's police car.
Now, you know that officer who's on the medical pension is never coming back.
So
if all he
convenient.
has to do is stay on a medical pension, not to be questioned, my thing is, if you took part in that and you're at the middle school, it shouldn't matter if you're on a medical pension or what you're doing. You should still be questioned. So this girl is getting put out there, and he's in witness protection right now.
Exactly.
So what are we gonna say, Doc?
And
I saw you about to
that's how
say
it goes.
something.
I was gonna say I'm mad that she the only one being blasted. Her face, her I'm new to the department video is out there.
Exactly.
She needs to name who he is and blast him too. Like if she gonna get blasted, he needs to be blasted. I'm sorry. Like they both wrong. I'm so mad at all the women take the fall. Like what is this? She being drugged.
Shout to Ashley. She sent me the $2 because I said, I bet y'all $1.75 that somebody has. And she sent me the $2. She said, yeah, I lost the bet. I lost the bet. Dem dollar on this says, I plead the fifth. As a typical woman, this is a typical woman answer right here. I will not deny or confirm. That means y'all got to be kidding me. Let me see. And then we'll get into some and here goes Random Rick trying to be holier than thou. Give me $1.75. I respect myself and my body. Rick, give me that money because you lying.
Shut up, Rick. Shut up, Rick.
Yeah, no, we don't want that. We don't want that. Rick, yeah, right. They don't believe you. We don't believe you. Let me see if I got a few other ones. Well, you know, Nikki said, oh, for sure I have. Nikki, she ain't even hold back. She said, oh, okay. Jeanette, what I missed? Jeanette, you missed a lot. You missed, I just won $2 on a bet. But thank you, Ashley, for actually confirming something. And TP, we got a story. Do we have a story? We have a story. At my old job, they had to put a lock on the big handicapped restroom because of the risky behavior that was taking place. Y'all are wild for real.
Wow.
They had to put a lock. Well, what about the handicapped people who wanted to use the stall?
Wow.
They had to get the key.
Where did you work at that y'all were acting like a bunch of college and high school students?
College and high school, don't they do that in the back of strip clubs, allegedly?
I don't know, KT. Something you want to tell us, KT? What the hell? You've been on here for 10 minutes. You really, okay.
Been on here for longer than 10 minutes.
All right. All right. Let's see what we got. If you work from home and bump ugly, you still, okay. All right. Yeah. If you work from home, that's a whole different story. Whatever you say, Rick, nobody believes Rick. I'll get down to a few more. Well, Asha, I don't even want Asha. We know Asha. Good morning. Blessings, Dr. Aisha's up in here.
Hey,
Okay. I was trying to save this clip for Doc. So we had some fun, and then I want to play a clip for the Doc, and I wanted to do some work, do a little bit of free work on me.
Okay.
Former President Obama made a comment in an interview, and when I saw him make the comment, I felt some type of way. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna tell you the truth. When I saw the guy, I said, what the fuck? Like, what does that mean? Like, why would you say this? And I saw the clip without anybody having responses. I saw the clip a while ago, and I actually had the clip in here a while ago, and I never got to play it because I know y'all, the first thing y'all keep saying is, oh my God, Mike, you forever hating on Michelle Obama and Barack, and you're forever and you're I have my views and opinions. Listen, I believe everybody's compromised. That's what I believe. That's just my opinion. But I never played it until, okay, so I felt I wasn't bold. I was a coward. I didn't play it when it was just a comment because I knew you guys were gonna get at me. But this young lady, and I had a few. This is the light one. This is a light one. It's gonna play former President Obama in the interview, and then she comes in with her comment. So I'm gonna play the whole thing for you. Y'all tell me what you think.
Be a great admirer of George Washington, and also acknowledge he was a slaveholder, and that does not negate his greatness. It simply acknowledges that there's a profound, deep flaw in these founding fathers who were also geniuses and gave us these tools, and which is true of all of us.
Who is this for?
Before I play it, I'm gonna play it one more. I want y'all to be clear on his description of George Washington. I want you to be clear.
To be a great admirer of George Washington, and also acknowledge he was a slaveholder, and that does not negate his greatness. It simply acknowledges that there's a profound, deep flaw in these founding fathers who were also geniuses and gave us these tools, and which is true of all of us.
Who is this for? Serious question. What is the point of Obama using his influence to get online and explain to everybody how being a slave owner does not make you a monster, right? That being a slave owner, it's just being flawed, like any other man, like any other president. And do we not all know flaws? I don't know about you, but I can't think of one fucking sin that is greater than being a slave owner. Not one. Raping, maiming, oppressing, killing, exploiting. George Washington would have ripped the teeth out of Obama's fucking wife after he finished raping all of his family and him, and then stuffed him in his dentures. And now we've got our first black president taking interview airwaves in order to make excuses for monstrous racists who have actually done indelible amounts of harm to our society. Not geniuses, monsters. The racism is still seeping up from the soil here because it was so thoroughly built by racist white men. But I go back to my original question, which is, who are these talking points for? Because it seems to me the establishment is working overtime right now to try to pull us back into cahoots to do business as usual with racists again, so that when the orange man is gone, who I bet Obama wouldn't say was such a genius with a couple flaws, they can pull us back into some sort of, comfortable business as usual with no progress, no changes, prices still fucking through the roof, exploitation rampant across the US, but shh, because racism can't be your strong line.
So I'm gonna let y'all. I have a real problem with somebody saying it was a flaw, and it doesn't take away. I have a real burning feeling in my soul when somebody actually describes somebody who is part of something that is unmatched in this country, and the evilness that it contained. To say it was a flaw, but we can still appreciate their greatness. That's just Michael Shaw.
Okay. So let me say this. Number one, I'm from Chicago. I voted for Obama twice, proudly.
So did I.
Twice, right? And
I would vote a third time. I would vote a third time if the setup happens and Trump, who's not going to get out, he's not leaving that White House unless he's dragged out and impeached. I would vote for him, but go ahead.
Yes. And I would vote for him a third time as well. So let me just say that I'm actually in Chicago now, and part of my, family reunion stuff, blah, blah, blah. But part of the thing that I'm going to do before I leave is go visit the Obama Center before I get up out of here, right? So let me just put out where I'm coming from. Like, I'm not hiding nothing. I am pro-Obamas, right? I'm pro-Obamas. Here's my question to you, though. I want to hear the journalist's question that he was answering before we comment on his comment. I want to hear what question she asked him, because this is a sentence and a half of what I would assume is a much larger statement, because former President Obama, is crazy, wickedly intelligent. And I do not doubt that this man is just sitting up there praising, him, saying, oh, he was just a little flawed because he had slave. I doubt that's the actual angle that this clip was actually coming from. Now, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I will go out and put back my $2 and say, I doubt that's the angle. And to throw in a little slide and a little joke on you, you can pass, dude. I'd be in the field, you be in the house. So
So and listen, I know we have a soft spot for people. And I had that question before. I put a question out there. I said, who would you be most distraught if you found out that they had been in them files? And by a landslide.
Yes, I would be devastated.
And I think and this is why I wanted to play this for Doc. I think in my humble opinion, they're all compromised. There's no way you can actually become the president of the United States, I don't care who you are, without being compromised.
But compromised how? Because the files you're talking about is straight up pedophilia. Like, they had children. The videos, they were there, of little girls in white gowns, and like they were children. So what type of compromising you talking about? Some backroom deals? You talking about some pedophilia? You talking about some cheating on your spouse? Like, when you say compromise.
Okay, so we do agree that our former president was brilliant. We do agree, right? We do agree.
Absolutely.
And might have been one of the most informed ever. Might have been. Had to be. I
think he was one of the most educated.
Had to be. You don't think he had any idea about what was going on with Jeffrey Epstein?
Oh, I'm not saying he didn't have a clue.
And what I mean compromise, do you understand? We're not going to bring this up because I'm not dying on that hill. And if we find and when you find that out, when you find out that they all knew. So what I mean compromise is that you can't flip this whole system over and still be the president. So the compromise is there's a lot of treachery that goes on with people, and not just him. I'm talking about every single person who's ever been in that office has had to be compromised in order to make that happen. You can't be associated in that group to get to the point where you actually have an opportunity to be the president of the United States without them knowing that that we know that there are certain things that you ain't, including Bill Clinton.
Hold on. We're talking about knowledge versus provable fact. Knowledge versus provable fact for people in power with major power that you're trying to bring down. So if he had, like, we all got knowledge of somebody, our next door neighbor, homeboy down the street, or the hood you used to live in, or where the trap house was. Everybody got some knowledge of something, but can you prove it? Can you bring it to court? And can you literally live to survive the court going through? So let's not hang all the weight around our former president's neck. Now, look, I'm not a blind follower. I'm not a sheep. I'm an informed, intelligent follower. But come on now, don't hang everything around his neck.
Now we do know these files existed with Biden. We do know that there was a small connection between Biden and just a small connection between Biden and Barack. Small,
just little one,
just little one, just little one. And this is my thing. I don't look at any. I don't have this thing. I look at these people now as, what are you going to do for me? Because at this point, I don't have any moral expectations of any of you. I have no more expectations of any of you because I can't. Because I see it over and over again. It's proven this is a corrupt system that is not built based on the benefit of us. Now, that doesn't mean presidents can't do things for us. But if I play the interview on Barack speaking about Israel, that's when you'll really be like, I've never heard the man stutter like this. So, and God bless. Listen, once again, I voted for him twice. You want to talk about the lesser two evils? This is the comp. But KT, your opinion before we get into some stuff that Doc can actually help us with.
I just want to touch on what both of you said, but what you said about him stuttering when he was speaking in the interview in Israel, because I thought of that too, and I kind of picked up on that same stutter in this conversation here. So when Doc said she would like to hear the question, I want to hear the question, because he did seem uncomfortable to me. He did seem uncomfortable while he was speaking on, this so-called flaw of being a slave owner. He was not, that wasn't rolling off of his tongue very well. But again, if you're uncomfortable saying it, why are you saying it?
I don't know if he was uncomfortable saying it, more so of him having to tap dance at the question.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean by uncomfortable. Like, it's obvious you're dancing around something. What was the question?
Right. And so I don't know what the question is, but I will say this. Remember, bottom line is, former President Obama is still a politician, which means I'm not talking the negative side. I'm not hearing me before y'all come for me. I'm saying he has to speak to not only these United States, he's got to speak to all the other nations, because the nations respect him. So when we see, or at least in this clip, when he's stuttering and it doesn't look like his regular smooth, suave self, he's being thrown a question that he's got to answer on the fly. Yes, he's a professional. Yes, he's trained and all of that. But he also has to answer difficult questions. And so how do you talk to white America who loves the Washington and then also talk to Black America? So look, just like I love King, but he wasn't innocent. Right. I love Malcolm X, but he wasn't innocent too. Marcus Garvey, and I can keep going down the list. Like you say, they were all.
What part of Malcolm wasn't innocent? What part of Malcolm wasn't innocent? Yeah. No, because even the FBI files will tell you they ain't it. But go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Continue.
Woo, boy! Somebody over there's got his militant hat on this morning.
No, but I will say this: if you can't speak, this is the problem, and this is why I mean about being compromised. If you can't tell the truth about who George Washington is, because you are worried about another base, then you are compromised. That is my point exactly. If you can't come out and say the monster that he was, along with the rest of them, along with the other presidents who literally have so many kids from some slaves that if you literally did their ancestry.com, we'd be like, what the hell? But if you can't speak that truth, then yeah, you are a compromise. And listen, once again, I voted for him. I just think we got to take these glasses off that the person that said, yes, we can, sometimes won't because of the situation and won't say, and if there's one thing I will say, and y'all can come for me in the chat, one thing Donald Trump has proven to us, you can say what everybody said you can't say. Oh yeah, you can. And you can stay in office. And you can get elected twice.
Yeah, if you got some sex tapes on some people, stop playing.
No, it doesn't have to be sex tapes about people. Even when he was
any other blackmail material, you stop playing.
No, I'm saying even when he was exposed, you can. It's just you willing? You listen.
No,
one thing we'll disagree with. If one thing he is taking a pen, and he is assigned exorbitant amount of what do you call it?
Sharpie.
What do they call
it? Sharpie.
Oh, whatever.
Executive orders.
Executive orders. He did prove to us that could have been happening a long time ago. It's just you got to deal with the repercussions of what come with signing those things.
Well, you know what? Look, everybody got their opinions about everything. Yeah. So we gonna slide that off to you having real strong opinions, because what I consider to be the alleged act towards his life and the literal act towards what would have been President Obama's life. So let's stop playing. Like both of those scenarios would never have been equal. Let's just stop.
No. Absolutely, they wouldn't have been equal. Absolutely, they would not have been equal. And that goes back to my point. Because they're not equal, that's where the compromise comes in. Because we know the treatment would have been different, but we've never had somebody just come out and say what slave. There's nothing topping a slave. I don't know what else has to be done for you to be able to listen. This is what they did. He's not even in office right now.
No, but he's always running. Even if he's never in office, do you understand how dignitaries around the world respect him more than they respect the current sitting person? So even when he's not in office, his words still have power. He still pulls the nation to watch him when he enters this television. This show right now is talking about him and he's not in office. You know what I'm saying? So let's just not, it's not the fact that he's not in office. It's the fact that he is who he is. He has earned respect around the globe and he's going to maintain that. And he made a statement that somebody else doesn't like, but I want to hear the question, because that young lady put a nice little slant on it to try to point him out as, you know, this saying that slavery was okay and all that jazz. And I don't think you should take a snippet and then base someone's whole character, ethics, moral value on just a small little snippet. That's not fair. I don't think that's fair at all. Let's hear the whole thing and then have a lively conversation about the whole thing, you know? So, but hey, let's move on to something more fun.
Yeah, exactly. Well, this ain't gonna be no more fun, but it's gonna be a lot. This country definitely wants the original type of slavery. Let me get to these comments. Tasha, good morning, blessings. Oh, there were a few more comments. Let me see. I would be surprised only because if he was. Well, no. I don't believe. I didn't say he was. I said that was a question that I had posed. That would break my heart too. They would have ripped him to shreds. That would have definitely. Even with me, not having a total expectation of these politicians, presidents, governors, senators, and that one would have. Maybe I'm naive, but that one would have hurt me too. That one would have been something that I would have been like, God, I mean, but maybe I'm naive, because at the end of the day, there's nothing that's off the table anymore. I mean, we got the Epstein files and nobody's going to jail. Nobody's going in front of a judge. So when nobody goes in front of a judge, this is not just the Trump administration hiding this. This is an entire government who has decided we're going to make it look good that we're going to press the issue, but we're not going to press the issue. Because if this can't get somebody to rally up 5-10 million people to DC, then I don't know what can. I don't know what can. Like at that point. But all right, let's get to all right. So Doc, I got some problems. I got some problems. All right. Not problems. But okay, we've talked about this before. I just got the opportunity to start my show in Dallas. It happened this weekend. And thank you. And it went well and everything like that. So I had a conversation on the show with Sexy Mo, Dr. Aaron Smith. And this is basically what it was about. And I'm gonna let you read into it. Just watch it in a minute. When I first got the news that I was gonna be given the opportunity to be back on K104 in Dallas and have my own show, the first emotions that hit me was intense anxiety and fear, almost paralyzing anxiety and fear. To go back to a place where I publicly self-destructed and have my battle with alcohol so put in the forefront, it brought up a fear to go back. And this is why I fight so fiercely to protect my circle of friends and who I allow in. Because I do a show on YouTube called Michael Shoud and the Takeover Legends. And this is what my dear friend Dr. Aaron Smith had to say to me about this paralyzing anxiety and fear.
God is like, I told you, I got you. All you got to do is listen and follow me. And you keep trying to be anxious and be worrisome. And you don't even realize that I already planned it out. I put you in a position where I humbled you publicly so that I can exalt you publicly. And I made sure that the same way that you fell, you want to rise. You so busy worried about the pressure and the weight, W-E-I-G-H-T, that you're not worried about the weight, W-A-I-T, because that was the purpose and the point. It was for you to pause, for you to be still, for you to reflect, for you to have time to change and transform through introspection and reflection. You so busy worried about the pressure that you don't even appreciate the power of the process. So if you just look back over your life and take all those lessons, whether it be handcuffs, depression, or addiction, and you take that and you use it as your testimony and understand it has made you a better man through the burning, through the pain, through the crushing, just like it did to our Lord and Savior Jesus the Christ, then you will understand the beauty and you could just shout amen, hallelujah, and be joyous though he slay you. So that it in a nutshell, that's where we were at with this. I want you, if you can, from a professional standpoint, and I know this is hard, so please, people, don't get mad at me. Take the spiritual side out of it, because I lean on that, and I think I can speak. I think all of us on here lean on our spiritual side and our belief in our higher power, whatever that may be. At a professional side, why is it when I'm on the chase for something, I'm amazingly confident and I'm full steam, and all of a sudden when it's presented to me, there is, like I said, a paralyzing anxiety that comes, and I almost want to call it a fear that comes over me almost in every situation in my life when it actually happens. Here it is, Mike. I'm going to give you what you've always been working for. Why is that? Why does that come over me like this? If you can struggle with it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I have to just say legally, this is just to answer your question immediately. I have not given an assessment on Michael. So nevertheless, you struggle with anxiety. Okay. Mm-hmm. And so you're struggling with anxiety, but we talked a little bit about this last week with your anxiety and with the fact that I celebrate your 2 years of sobriety. I'm so excited for you. I celebrate that all the time. But you struggle with anxiety, and typically anxiety is rooted in the fear of the unknown. Okay. Yes. But see, with you have a very real fear of very real things that you did in the past. Mm-hmm. So if we're just talking about you returning to Dallas, which I am excited about, that's going to be great and amazing.
Thank you.
But it's bringing up very real fears from things you've actually done. Muscle memory is a real thing. Okay. There's a doctor, I can't think of his name, but he wrote a book, Your Body Keeps the Score. And he talks about how trauma experiences are locked into your muscles, your organs, your body, you know, and all the things. And your body will respond from traumatic memories. But in your case, because you are walking through sobriety, and if you didn't know you were your two different types of sobriety, y'all, there is to be detoxed, which is without a substance, and then there is sobriety. When I worked substance abuse for Dallas County, one of the ways we knew that our youth, I work adolescent substance abuse boys, but one of the ways we knew that our young boys or young men were truly becoming sober is when they started to develop a healthy fear of returning to the life. Right? Honestly, Mike, you're going through it's really a sobriety thing. I'm talking about in this moment with going back. I'm just talking about that. We'll talk about stuff later. But the sobriety of, I don't want to crash out again. I don't want to return to alcoholism. I don't want to disappoint my family. I don't want to disappoint myself. I don't want to be humiliated publicly, right? I'm out here telling people I'm 2 years sober. I'm out here saying, you know, applause, so you can do it too, all these things. And now I'm going back to the place where I crashed and burned. I know all my spots where I used to hang out. I know how I used to hide alcohol before. All these memories of stuff that you did that were bad or disappointing previously. So yours isn't just the fear of the unknown. You have a very real known evidence of what the past was. But this is the issue. You're not focused on your new. So in the effort of the anxiety and looking towards who you are now and moving towards to help you, you're only focused on who you used to be and what you used to do. Now, this is the other half of the anxiety. Now, this is the fear of the unknown. You're unsure of who you are now if you're going to maintain that.
Okay.
But I'm going to ask you to look at the 2 years of what you went through, of becoming first detoxed, learning about why you started alcoholism in the first place, looking at your family history, having to make amends with all the people that you hurt, loving on your babies, your kids. You talk about your daughter so well. You know what I mean? Like all of that stuff, and looking at how proud your family are of you today. The man you were yesterday is literally not the man you are today. You are literally creating new brain cells. Do you understand? Like your brain is literally being rewired. You get pleasure in other things. So your dopamine hits are not hitting from alcohol anymore. You're getting dopamine hits from being sober. So you're literally rewiring your brain.
Right.
So to help you overcome the anxiety, whoever your doc is, you can look at a small little dose of anti-anxiety meds. I think might work for you a little bit, right? Not a whole bunch, little bit, just a little bit. And maintain your counseling, maintain your if you go into like an AA or whatever you're doing for the alcoholism and all that kind of stuff, maintain all of that. Keep your support group nice and close. But in baby bites, as you start to return to Dallas, my encouragement is to be intentional about finding new places to hang out. But then whoever your therapist is, you and that therapist can get together. It's something I do. It's desensitization therapy after people encounter a major traumatic event. Let's say you have a car wreck and you're not able to drive. Desensitization therapy is you start to expose the person in small doses while you're present with them, working them through the panic and the memories and the flashbacks and all of that kind of stuff to help them overcome the new stimuli that's causing them panic attacks. So you can get your therapist and go sit outside in your car of one of the bars you used to go to. And let's talk. Yeah. Let's talk through what moved you into that bar. Let's talk through the things you did. Let's talk it through and let's have that real conversation and address all that real anxiety and fear that's inside of you. Desensitization, not to get you comfortable to go back in the bar, but to let you know that you've overcome the bar, those particular places, and those things no longer have power over you. So you are no longer being controlled by alcoholism like a puppet. You have now taken control over your own life.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. That's a whole lot.
I know. I'm sorry.
No. I asked. What? I don't know how to ask this question. I'm trying to get it. What is your belief? Do you think people really, truly have confidence, or is because I always admire people who seem to, because this is what I do. I've made a choice, right? That my ideas that I have, that I've always had, that I've kicked myself for now. Because what I've done is I've had a bunch of ideas that I didn't go through with, and then I saw I had proof that other people did, and I was like 2 years ahead. Like I had ideas where I was like 2 or 3 years ahead, and there was this thing that just kept me back from actually executing it. For what reason? Because I think to myself of the opportunities, but that's in the past. So now what I do is I have an idea, I put it together, and I'm scared to death, and I just do it. And I almost like, this is just a metaphor. I close my eyes and just do it. And yes. I just jump out the window. I say, here we go.
Yes.
But it's such a grueling exercise to always do that, because it's literally like somebody jumping in the deep end of a pool who doesn't believe they can swim. They just kind of think they can swim. I've seen it before. I kind of, what is that? Like, what is it that has me, that I'm my biggest doubter? Like I'm the person who has one side of my brain goes, you can make this happen. You can make this happen. You can make this is right there, Mike. Don't worry about everybody else. And then there's this other side of me that just goes, you might want to chill and wait. What does everybody have that battle? Is this just a normal thing? KT, no. Raise your hand.
Oh, okay. Everybody doesn't struggle with that. Legit. Everybody doesn't struggle with that. So I'm just going, y'all know I'm a therapist, right?
Right.
Counselor, supervisor. All right. So you ask a question, I got to go there. It's going to sound like a little textbook real quick, but just flow with me and sincerely think about the question in your heart, and then think whether or not you want to answer live. Okay. But here is my question to you, both of y'all, since you both said you struggle with it. My question is, who in your past, in your childhood, criticized you so much that you did not believe you were capable? Who constantly told you to stop? No, your sibling was better at this. Your cousin was better at this. Or were you bullied growing up through middle school, elementary, high school? Who was the person or persons or episode that put that negative thought, that planted that seed, and somebody watered it? Or you might have watered it yourself, but somebody planted a seed that constantly said, no, stop, or don't try. It could have been a helicopter parent, unknowingly, not allowing your child to climb freely on the jumbo, whatever, saying, no, baby, you're going to hurt yourself. No, don't do this. You're going to get injured. No. Don't do that. Let mommy do it for you. No. Like, who was it? What happened?
Wow. I don't think it was one particular person. I I think I come from a generation in my family where I think people jokingly would attack people, but I don't think they understood how much doubt it would put. It was like a group thing. It was almost like, I always say my generation was like, the more they ridicule you, we take it as that's because they love you. And now my mom on the other side is the sky was the limit, like go, she was to this day, I understand that if my mom had grown up now, she'd probably own her own business because that's what she got from her father. But it was a generation where ridicule is something that is always there, and you have to, and we always say people, you have to have thick skin. But I think that term is so ridiculous. It really isn't having thick skin. Is you just absorb it and nobody sees how it affects you. So if you don't react verbally about it, then everybody thinks you just have thick skin. No, it seeps in.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So subconsciously, what we're doing when we do that to children, especially to adolescents, to teenagers, is we teach them how to accept verbal abuse. You're training someone up in verbal and emotional abuse. And then if they don't accept it, you call them abnormal or a baby or weak or whatever it is, because they're not accepting your verbal and emotional abuse. And that's not okay. We need to stop that foolishness.
Wow.
Or people say things like, I'm just kidding. I love you. No, I don't, because I only know what you say. I only know what I hear. I only know what I see you do. That's all that I know.
Okay. And that makes total sense. KT, if you want to ask something, you could jump in because I'll go because I got something else.
No, just real quick. Yeah, I've had to face that. I raised my hand because I've kind of been through this, and I did, and I've said it on here. I spent some years in therapy, thank God. And that's one of the things that I have to face every day. For me, that is something that is daily that I fight through. Because I do. Those voices come back in my head. People ask me, why am I just now getting on the mic, so to speak? Why am I just now, releasing my poetry and things that I've written and stuff like that? And it's because I was stifled. Those voices stifled mine. And it gave me that sense of, I know I have this talent, but I was told that I didn't, or I was told that it wasn't worth something, or something. It was those voices that Dr. Holman is saying that have held me back for so long. And you have to fight through it. It is a daily fight for me.
So this
let me read some of these comments. The best thing I've ever heard was you can't drive a car forward looking in the rear view. April, I don't know if I've seen you here before, but you look familiar. Faith the size of a mustard seed. Come on, April. And then I think April had another. We got Ashley, that's fast, good advice. It was Jay Black. You're funny. I don't know why we blaming Jay Black, but I'm all for it. When you want to blame Jay Black, I'm good. Low-key verbal abuse. All of that is definitely abuse that will affect you in adulthood. And I think a lot of us grew up in a generation. I think there was a generation where we thought that was just I don't know. That was some type of way where just take it. We're just kidding.
Accepted it.
We're just kidding. It's in the jokes, just like when your friends who joke on you speaking down on you.
Right.
You have to watch those people. Okay, so this is another one that gets me. And I hate to jump from thing to thing because I know therapy isn't on demand. This is not how it works. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You don't just be like, hey, help me with this.
No.
What about my erectile dysfunction? What the hell? How do we get there? How do we get to that?
we do get some of those questions though.
I believe it. I the most uncomfortable, the place where if I have to have a top 3 where insecurity is such at a height that I can almost feel like a whole ozone layer go over my body, when it's at the height in anxiety, is when too many people believe in me and believe that I'm this or that, whether it be talented, and decide that, which too many people believe. And when people start acknowledging how good I am at something, I get very uncomfortable. The hardest part of a comedy show for me, when I do well, and if Jay was here, he would co-sign it, when I killed it, is responding to people who tell me that I did well. Cause I feel so, I'm like, thank you. That's all I got. And I almost feel like that's not enough. All I got is thank you. I do variations. Appreciate that. Good looking. I'm like, good looking. Good looking on that. Good looking. But when people start to believe in me is when I almost go into corners and get quiet. Like I almost, like, even when I'm by myself, I'll almost have to turn on some music and try with me. What the fuck is that, Doc?
Yeah, yeah. So what you asked, so I'm gonna answer. You, in your heart and in your mind, you have exalted the negative voices. I'm gonna make it real personal, above your mother's voice. And because you said that you have a faith, you've also exalted those negative voices above God's voice. So here's a little exercise I want you to do. You, KT, participate. Y'all can do it on paper or you can do it live, whatever you choose to do. How much you want to put out there, go on, put it out there. But all those negative people, all those negative voices, even if they were jokes, I want you to write the names down. Real names. Write the names down on paper. Okay? And then I want you to
write it down.
Okay. Write the name down, because it's a connection between the brain and the pen. So just follow me with this. Write the name down, and then beside their name, write down what they said.
That's weird.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what's weird, Doc, real quick? You know what's weird? Is that I'll write these names down and I can say what they said. And then the same names, I can say how they said I was great. But for some reason, I don't hear the great part. Like I can put these names down and tell you what was said. And then that same person has said something basically so positive and so like, you are incredible at this. And for some reason, I don't hear that part from them. But I can write down what they said negative.
Write the name down.
I did. I got a few more. Hold up.
Yeah, I know. You got more than one.
I got a few more. Hold up. This is funny as hell. All right, go ahead. I'll just keep it at that. I got my top 5. It's like a top 5 list. I got a top 5.
Gotcha. You got your top 5. All right. Yep. Now, draw a line down the side of the page and write down the names of the people who have only said positive things, only encouraged you. Not a half and half. Everything has been, you are amazing. You can do this. You can make it. I believe in you. You can survive this. You're not alone. I got your back. I'm gonna walk with you through it. You know, you my road dog. You're not out there by yourself. Call me anytime. I'm gonna show up for you. Who are the people that only have said those things?
All right, I got them.
Okay.
I got my top 5. I got my top 5. I got my top 5.
Now here's my question to you. From your left side, I'm assuming the left side is the negative, the right side is the positive. From the negative side of the list, what makes them more important to hold on to their words as opposed to holding on to the other people?
Can I answer that for myself? I don't even need to give the list, because when I say I was getting ready, call back in and get ready for this question right here. What if that left side of the list is DNA and the other side of the list is not?
Yeah. Yeah. Because innately you believe that your biological family were supposed to do these things, and and they had more weight and gravity and all that kind of stuff. Exactly. But they did not, in your case, they did not behave as family were supposed to, because they said all the negative things. This is what I say to all of my adopted babies who come into the office. Adopt a new family. Adopt a new family.
What do you mean by that? Like, what are the steps? What
Which
are the
are the
steps?
people on the other side for me?
Yeah,
Which ended up being the people on the other side. Okay.
So here's the thing. We gonna play this little game. It's a little activity. Now look, y'all, there's a real therapeutic technique. So I want y'all to take this lightly. I gotta make sure I'm dancing carefully here. It's a little game, a little exercise I do called a bullseye. And I have people literally draw a bullseye, and it's 3 rings, right? Not 3 rings, forgive me, 5 rings. 5 rings to a bullseye, 5 circles, right? All right. So on the bullseye, and I'm answering your question at the same time, KT. On the bullseye, when you draw it, go ahead, draw it out on your paper. You're gonna draw 5 circles and
5
leave some
circles,
space. Yeah, for like a dartboard. Y'all know what a bullseye is, like a dartboard. I'm gonna keep talking.
Okay.
All right. So, and when you're drawing these 5 circles, okay, you're gonna leave a little space. And then on the 4 corners of your paper, you're gonna write the word strangers. Strangers. 4
On the
corners
4.
of the paper.
Okay.
4 corners of a regular sheet of paper. You're gonna write the word stranger, 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 stranger on the 4 corners.
Write
And
it down,
then,
y'all.
Yep. Just walk through it with me. All right. So you got 5 circles, and you put some space between this. If you got a whole sheet of regular 8.5 by 11 paper, you're gonna take up the whole piece of paper with your 5 circles. And in the very center of the bullseye, like a dartboard, where you would say, "Bullseye, I beat you because I got the very center." In that very center, I want you to write the word me, yourself, your name, or the word me, and you're gonna draw a heart around you. Okay, and in the very, very, very center of the bullseye, 5 circles, you're going to create a dartboard, a bullseye, and on the 4 corners of your paper, you're going to write the word stranger. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Now, I want you to draw a line. This is going to help you after we get off the show. Draw a line from your heart, like an arrow, all the way out to stranger. Draw a line and an arrow all the way out to stranger. That's all you're going to do, from the very center all the way out to the edge of stranger, and just draw a straight line with an arrow.
For each target?
No, just one straight line, not from each target, just from the center, one straight line, and it's just a long arrow. That's all it is. Just a long arrow. Okay, very good. Stop there. This is what you're going to do. You're going to rank how people show kindness and affection towards you. Not how much you love them, but how they show kindness and affection towards you. Now, KT, I'm gonna go towards you real quick. Now, you got kids, KT?
Yes, I do.
Okay, beautiful. So we're gonna put the beautiful children right next to your heart. You're gonna write their names right next to your heart. That's where they go. And then we're going to pretend that Aisha is your sister, that I'm your sister and I love you. You my road dog. I got your back. We ain't never had no real, we sisters, so we gonna fight, right? We gonna fight. We sisters. But it ain't nothing real. It's just that, like, you took my earrings, give it back. I got your blouse, I'm gonna keep it, right? We just gonna be regular. But in middle school, somebody was picking on you, and this is actually a true story. Somebody was picking on me in middle school, and my big sister, who was at the high school across the street, she came out with her umbrella man, and it was like pa 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 pa, and I was standing behind her talking about, yeah, and don't mess with me, and yeah, and she gonna be back, and yeah, and she was out there just pa pa pa, leave my sister alone, right? So that's me and you, KT. That's me and you. So you, if I'm your sister, you would then write Aisha on the next ring after your kids, because that's how much I'm showing love to you. And it's been like that all your life, right? And just to show y'all the structure, if you go all the way out to the 4 edges of the paper, you have strangers. Strangers don't show no love to you. So the further away from your heart is the less love, and the closer to your heart is the more love. Not how much you love them, how much they show. That's the important word. How much they tangibly, demonstratively show love towards you. Their words are followed up with actions on a consistent basis. The point of the exercise is to show you that even if mama is mama, but she was abusive and she's been abusive financially, verbally, physically, then she doesn't get to go up by your heart based upon her actions. She actually treats you the way a stranger would treat you. So she goes on the lowest rung. But there might be a little lady at the church who has always said, baby, come on in here. How you doing today? Give me a hug. Now, I just want to encourage you. I just want you to know that everything's going to be all right. I see you look a little sad today. It's all right. I see you with them babies, KT. You're doing a good job. You a good mama and all the things. And you may just call her, I don't know, Miss Kitty, whatever her name is, Miss Barbara, whatever. And you just Miss Barbara every Sunday, every Wednesday night service. She just, come on, how you doing? What you need for the kids? They got some, I got these shoes and I saw your son and these about his size, right? You got Miss Barbara who's always loving on you. Miss Barbara ain't no kin to you. You only see her at church, but because she's consistent, Miss Barbara might be ranking right after the rung of Aisha, your pretend sister, Road Dog, who's always, you get what I mean? Because when we are ranking people and we're looking at people who demonstratively show love and affection towards us, they're not always your biological relatives.
Right.
And so that's what I mean by adopt a new family. Most of the time, and here's the part that's going to hit you. So watch me, follow me here. Most of the time, we spend time chasing people who are out towards the strangers. We're chasing them for that love. That's why I said draw the arrow from inward outward, because what you're going to learn to do is on this diagram you've drawn is love from the inward outward instead of from the outward inward. Because what we do is we skip over the people who are there, who have always been encouraging, Mike. We forget their voice. We skip over the people who have always had your back. We skip over the people who show up and rescue you 2 o'clock in the morning on the side of the highway because you forgot to put gas in your car. That's me all the time. That's like, this is why I need a man. I need a man to come put gas in my car. Okay. Okay. Because who is always forgetting to get gas is me. All right. We skip over those people and we chase the people who are consistently rejecting us.
Absolutely.
That's why their voices are louder, because you want their approval. But as soon as you release yourself and you tell yourself, I don't need their approval because I'm not alone. Miss Barbara has been encouraging me. And guess what? Miss Barbara, can I call you auntie? Because my auntie wasn't there for me. My biological auntie, my mama's sister. You know what I'm saying? Miss Barbara, can I call you auntie? Baby, come, you want to come on over? I made a nice pound cake for you. You understand? Like, you have to acknowledge and recognize the people who actually show up.
Right.
And that becomes your family. We got a lot of auntie coaches, auntie teachers. We got a lot of next door neighbor big mamas. We got a lot of play cousins, sister brothers. Okay. We got a lot of best friend parents who are better parents to us than our own biologicals. Acknowledge who is there. Then allow yourself to love them in return. The love that you need is there. That's why you didn't lose your mind. That's why you have the thought in your head, I can push forward, although I'm terrified. I'm still pushing because they are influencing you. But you're stopping yourself from receiving the love when you skip over them and chase after people who reject you.
Understood.
No, that's an amazing that is right in our face, and you're absolutely right that the people have always been there, and we'll disparage them. Well, when they do give you the vote of confidence and say you can do this, we'll in our minds say, but they don't know. They don't know. They're not qualified in this field. They don't know what goes on in my job and stuff like that. But the other person who you know more than their words, like you said, that are negative, that'll be immediately formulated in your brain as the gospel.
Because you're trying to earn their love. You're chasing after them like a little puppy. Love me, love me, love me. You want them. You're there. You want them to say something positive without the slight. You know you're the bomb today, right? Like, and you just chasing. So their words, their everything becomes huge in your world because you're chasing the love and affection, not knowing you're already good, you're already beautiful, you're already perfect. God made you perfect just the way you are.
I want to read this comment that Musical Web put on, and we were talking about negative words, and she said, "My brother, you'd be better off as a waitress."
Oof.
I don't think people. Now I understand that person is going through stuff to say things like that they've gone through they've absorbed their own things in life. But I
You're
don't
being
think
diplomatic. No, they're just a jerk.
Yeah, but they're a jerk for a reason. There's something that created the jerk. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I don't think people understand the fact that she remembers that statement that clearly. I don't think people get, as human beings, we understand what words, the power. I don't know how we don't get it right now. I don't know how long we have to live on this planet before we realize the power of your words coming out your mouth about yourself and your words coming out your mouth about other people, how harsh they are. And I am sorry that you even had to have somebody say that to you.
Absolutely.
And Musical Web, I don't know you. You know, I know you from here.
I do. She definitely proved that wrong. This is Ayana. I don't know if you remember the poet Veda Maverick that I had on. This is his girlfriend. She's like a little sister to me. Yeah, she blew that statement out the water, and she has made her brother eat his words several times for that. If she doesn't mind me saying.
MC said, "Does anyone know what Dr. Holman is up to?" I don't know what you're talking. I don't know what do you mean by that? She's helping Mike and many others. Yes, she is. Blood ain't thicker than water. There's a difference in given family and chosen family. I think that's absolutely, and you know, I'm blessed. Like my family's been here, so I've been blessed. Where even though my family had a weird way, like I said, those people who did ridicule also did support me, but I don't think they knew the harshness of the words the first time. So I've been blessed not to have to pick a new family. Now I have I have added people to my family, but it wasn't because I didn't have them with me. I think because we want to make certain people proud, but realize that we never will, which is crazy. That people, wow.
But Mike, in your case, legitimately on your bullseye, okay, so your family is there, and you got these folk who are doing that 7th grade school mean girl thing, right? But they need to be lower from your heart on your bullseye and put the people who are consistently positive, consistently supporting further up. Okay. And it doesn't mean you love them less. Mind you, this is just a tangible visual for you to see how people are showing love to you. Okay. Now, some people you only need to do this based off of verbal, what they're verbally saying to you. Other people, you have to do it off of everything, what they're verbally saying to you and how they physically show up for you. Like people, if you have a little Thanksgiving or little get together, whatever, and these people never come to your stuff, but always invite you to theirs, and that hurts your feeling, then put it down. Like, where do they rank on that? or you give them great gifts. A friend of mine once told me that she was coaching her children and her child gave great gifts to one of the other little, these are high school kids, mind you, but to one of the other little high school kids from their summer job money. She would say, "Oh, I know you like this particular, book of literature or whatever it may be, and I found this book for you. I found this favorite pen that you love." And she said, "Well, are you going to get me a birthday gift?" And it's like, "Oh, okay." Like there was no thought behind it. So the parent was like, "Look, look, look, look. Let me teach you what friendship really looks like."
Musical, what was, somebody had a comment about family, which let me see if I can get up here. No. It's crazy how family can hurt you so bad. Well, honestly, I think family has an inside track on being able to either hurt you or inspire you so closely, especially when you put family in. I think we all try and prioritize our family. So they have access to your feelings way before the people out in the public have access to your feelings. And they have it, and they have access to your feelings when you have no defense. You don't even know you're supposed to have your defense mechanism up. Because, we always got our defense mechanism. So they catch you when your guard is down. So, just like anything else. Yes, music, we try hard to take those people proud of us, to make those people proud of us. I guess that's what she meant to write.
Yeah, that's what she's trying. Let me answer that whole thing with the family stuff. Look, I will tell you this because I specialize in trauma, right, and victimization. For the people who've been abused, it is easier from a medical standpoint to heal a broken bone than to help someone walk through emotional wounds. Most people don't realize emotional wounds takes years upon years upon years, if not decades, to heal from. And I've heard people say this all just flippantly, just without respect, that, oh, they just need to get over it. No, you just need some kindness, and you need to close your negative mouth, because nobody wants to go brushing up against a porcupine all day life, and you think someone else is not supposed to be impacted by that. Okay, so that is not okay. So it's not just I need to get over it. It is you need to apologize and you need to change. So that's the one. The other part is when people are sexually traumatized. If you are sexually traumatized from a family friend, a family member, or assaulted inside of your home or a place that's supposed to be safe, like a home, a church, a school, places that are supposed to be safe, when you're in the right place at the right time doing the right thing and a negative thing happens to you, it is harder, it takes longer for people to heal from those things than from a complete stranger. You're walking down the street and you get assaulted by a complete and utter stranger, or somebody snatches your purse and is a complete another stranger, right? You are driving your car and you're backed into at a parking lot, as opposed to you on your block and there's a terrible accident. The closer it is to your place of safety is the longer it takes to heal. When it's a complete and utter stranger, Mike, I help people heal through that so fast because their bubble is safe. They know they still have a safe bubble. But when you come into somebody's safe bubble and harm them, it takes a long time, because now the mind, the subconscious mind, is thinking, where is my safe space?
Right.
And so that's why these things hurt and take so long. Go ahead, Katie.
I have one question and then I have to drop to get hop
Yeah,
on
I gotta go too. Go ahead.
So if I call and I make an appointment, am I going to be Jay Black and now I can no longer work with Dr. Holman?
Sadly,
because I'm on this show with the babies. Okay.
Wow.
But let me tell you, I gave Jay Black to my one of
I was
all of
about
my
to say, I think I trust that you have a good team. So
Yeah, my
I'll
team
still
is
make the call,
amazing.
but I'm disappointed.
Yeah, my team is amazing. But I gave Jay Black to the me of my other location in Clarksville. So he is with Miss Marilyn Scott. Miss Marilyn Scott is excellent. She's trauma trained. She's got years, decades of experience in working with humans, you know, all the things. And so I trained her clinically, like most of my staff, even when they come in fully licensed, I do some training with them. But most people, though, that stay on with me, I train them up throughout their residency and they stay on with me. So look, whoever you get in my office is going to be fantastic. But like it's either you got to leave
I'm
or
a
I
little
got to leave.
disappointed, but it's okay. I still get to play with Dr. Holman on here. I'm cool. I'll just show up sometime when you come on.
All right. Home and Services. You already know. I don't have it. Jay normally puts it up. Home and Services. Is there a number that they can call? Is there a number they can call?
Absolutely. So homeandfamilyservices.com. Holman is spelled HOLMAN for all of our audio listeners out there. Homeandfamilyservices.com. You can call 972-375-1200. Again, 972-375-1200. Or you can go online, homeandfamilyservices.com, and click Need Help, and it'll walk you through and you can request an appointment. All of our calendars are completely open. So the time that you see is the time that you can have. And you just put your appointment request in there and we will hook you up. We will be very, very happy to assist you. My assistant is Mia, and she is fabulous. She's so sweet, and she's going to walk you through the process. If you have health insurance, we accept health insurance. If you do not have health insurance, but you feel that you can't really afford therapy, we have created our own insurance plan. It's called the Care Connect plan, okay? Our Care Connect Pass. You can purchase a Care Connect Pass. The packages are really, really affordable because look at the climate we're in from the president y'all chose. So I said it. So the Care Connect Pass is really affordable. And we did that because people can't afford health insurance, and we want to make sure people are out there that can get help. Okay. I want to give a shout out to April, the Cheesecake Lady. Look, she is in Chicago. Her cheesecakes, her cakes, her cookies, and her cake pops are thebomb.com. So please check out aprilthecheesecakelady.com. aprilthecheesecakelady.com. She is fantabulous.
Thank you so much, Doc. We will see you on Monday. This has been excellent. We did a workshop. We did an exercise up in here, baby. KT, thank you so much for holding it down while Jay Black is on vacation. People, I got to go to my high-paying job. Love me for who I am, not who you want me to be, because I can never be that. Understand there's only one thing in life that's guaranteed. It will end. So enjoy every minute, every second. You fight for everything in your life. Fight for your happiness, and never let anyone or any circumstance take it from you. God got me. God got you. God got us. For Michael Sean, for our Dr. Holman, for KT, Jay Black, Sexy Mo, Lady Q, Woke Up Inspired. Don't forget Amani and Kamari, Mike and C Chung. WokeUpInspired.com. Go there, put your vision, whatever vision you have. You can get it on a shirt, on a mug, on a backpack, whatever it is. And while you're there, there's plenty of merch already ready to be sold and shipped. We are gone. I'll see you tomorrow morning, y'all.
Michael Sean and the Takeover Legend, where the truth